Hey.
I think we're getting better at that every time.
I think so too. Girlie's Night, Season 2, Episode 2. We're doing it. It's done.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. Dogs, cats.
Not my notifications
Did you get
being
an email?
on. I got a LinkedIn email.
Oh my gosh. Just working lady.
You know how many fake postings there are on LinkedIn? So many.
I bet it's only grown over the years as well.
Oh my God. I'm getting constant fake listings.
No, but I love it when it goes off because sorry, just another LinkedIn email. I'm just so many job opportunities and people who want to connect professionally.
Yeah, speaking of job opportunities, you know what job is up for grabs right now?
What?
The presidency.
The presidency. I will not be running this year. As many people in my life said I'd be a great candidate. I don't know. I want to stay humble.
Right.
You know, but
they couldn't handle you in the White House.
You said it. You could take that direct quote from Callie. You ain't gonna handle me in the White House.
Yeah, I don't think they could handle you in the White House.
I'm ready to be the big man though. But not just big man anymore. We might have
a woman president,
which is crazy on its own. But
you know, she might get her period and declare war. And I mean, I don't know if we can handle that.
I'd probably support her though. I'd be like, she's going through it.
Like she's probably valid.
Self-care. Hey, you know, I've slaughtered a few enemies.
Innocents while on my period. It's okay.
To make me feel better. So if that's what she needs to do as a girly, I support that. And you're an ally if you do as well. So what? I mean, what have we even waged other wars for? Silly man problems. So
literally. What's the difference? Anyway.
But it's been almost an exact week since the presidential debate. It's been a little bit over, actually.
Yeah, we had the pleasure of watching Hassan watch the debate.
Yeah,
we watched someone watch the debate.
And I'd recommend that as well because every comment that you want to make, he'll just make it for you on Twitch. So then
you can shut the hell up while you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it was like 100,000 people watching with him, maybe more. I think 100,000. That's a lot of pressure. But it was interesting. It's interesting seeing two people on screen. I just had such high expectations. I think especially for, I don't know, etiquette, I guess.
Yeah.
You always think it's going to be this crazy.
Like a super profesh kind of ordeal.
Right? Because
they got professionals.
This is our supreme leader right here in America.
Like this is supposed to be like a pretty upscale world leader. You want them to stand up there on that podium and be like, so this is how we're going to do things. And I'm going to do it right.
Yes.
And the other guy's supposed to be like, you know what? This is how I'm going to do things. And this is the better right way.
But then they turn into your like English teacher when you tell them you didn't do their assignment and they like snap a little and they're like, oh, and you're like, I didn't know I was going to see that side of you today, Stephen.
I have concepts of a plan.
Mr. Robertson, what? Are you okay? I have concepts.
I have concepts of an essay, okay?
All right.
I have concepts.
That's how you get out of it. Well, one of the things, so we just wanted to talk about the debate today because
it's relevant.
Extremely relevant and significant. To,
everybody. Anybody of a voting age, I think it is significant too.
In America and also the whole world as well.
Because, you know, the world leaders got to get along.
And I think as young as I am, I'm kind of excited that we're going into this. I'm glad that I could be a part of politics now. I was thinking this year, I've only mailed in my ballot. And with COVID and everything, that was also the only option a few years ago. So now I was like, maybe I'll go do it in person this year.
Oh my God, should we go together?
I'm so excited.
Should we make it a little date?
Girlie's Day. Girlies go to vote. I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, don't forget to register. I think that too, like even though we're young, I think that a lot of people discredit young voters for not knowing anything, but it's like we're also voting. Like there's also a whole generation of people that are helping make that decision. So I think that keeping young people informed and old people informed, like it's a group effort.
I think too, Well, the younger generations usually are the least likely to vote, but it's also our future. We're also the ones with the most at risk.
Yeah, no, like we got a lot of life to live in this country. We don't want the guy we vote in when we're 20 to like fuck it up.
Which is why we tried. Which is why we're trying, and we watched the debate, and we're trying to be more involved this year. And so it seems like a lot of people. Well, a lot of the statistics are showing that Harris won the debate.
Yeah.
I have like a CNN poll that says that she did it like 63 to 37%.
Yeah.
Among the people that watched it. But then there's also like, I have a YouGov poll too that says that she was 54 to 31 amidst with registered voters and things like that.
Yeah. The ABC was the one who hosted the vote. Their like official PDF document states that 58% of people said that Harris won and 36% of people said that Trump won. So she was, she beat him pretty heavily according to ABC themselves. But what's interesting is like a lot of people went into this debate knowing who they were going to vote for. Like a lot of people had a bias, and people reacted to it interestingly because
it's kind of despite the numbers.
Yeah. Because that was officially out by ABC, a lot of Trump supporters have been saying that like the moderators were debating Trump. There a lot of like I was watching a Fox News video to like get some intel, and all the guys were harping on how like the moderators were only fact checking Trump. They weren't fact checking Harris. Trump had to fight everybody.
And that's been reoccurring ever since that Trump has been on the debate stage.
Yeah.
It's always been against moderators. And I just think that's so interesting because it's
right.
At some point, I don't know if there's ever a debate or any circumstance that could exist to where there's not some kind of component that people can argue against the actual results.
Because I mean, if you're going to
always be something.
I think, if you're going to go into a debate with bias, you're going to see
with bias as well.
Yeah, like it's very unlikely that you're gonna leave that debate thinking, "Oh, I was wrong."
And then as well as people, so Harris, well, whether or not you believe that she won or not, people are still pretty
leaning towards her as the winner.
Yes, but then also
I found one article actually where people were divided, completely divided. Oh God, I gotta pull it up.
Well, I was gonna say too that. Yes, and then still like people are divided, but then also people are still unsure. Like within that same poll that I said, 14% people are still unsure, which is something we're seeing a lot of this year. People are still, they just don't know which way to go. And I think a lot of that is because Harris joined this race so late.
Yeah.
She filled in for
Biden stepped down, which is like I think it was a correct thing to do. I don't think anybody was excited to vote for Biden or to like, except for Trump. He loved Biden.
He loved going against Biden. I think that's why he was so shaken up in this debate because he wasn't expecting an actual competitor because it was so interesting watching that June debate and just seeing two senile grandpas.
Yeah.
It was just like I was at the Thanksgiving dinner table and they were talking about football or something, and they were just talking about their
golf
favorite teams or golf, and they were just like it wasn't a country to them. Like we're not people to them at some point. It's just ego. So it was nice to see Harris come in and it actually be a competition.
Yeah.
Because I think Biden needs to retire. My dude, please just go to a little island and relax.
I think that's exactly what he's planning to do.
And go with your grandkids and run around and enjoy and get a Mai Tai.
Enjoy being an old man. Go to old men do.
Money.
Literally. Anyway, so the only article I found that where people were actually divided was by the Telegraph, but it felt like a lot of their experts didn't like watch the debate because a lot of them made false claims because like they were saying that Kamala probably doesn't have this thing when she had mentioned it right before. Like when Trump went, I have concepts of a plan. She had just mentioned her plan right before that. And they were like, I doubt Kamala has a concept. It's like, well, if you had listened to the debate, she did say she had a concept. So it's just things like that. So I don't know, that was a very biased article that I found, but the most biased one said it was divided. If that makes sense. The most like conservatively biased article that I found said that it was like pretty evenly matched, whereas most places that are either left leaning or even like Fox News was saying that Trump did not perform very well in that debate.
And because of that, literally, I'm pretty sure nearly 1/4 of Trump supporters, like at least that said that it's, they still support him, but like 6% said it changed their vote, and like 17% I saw it said made that them reconsider it. So it did put doubt in conservatives' minds on whether or not they're going to be voting for him. In the fall.
I think the biggest thing is that he took a lot of the bait. Because like I was reading an article and it was saying that like Kamala baited him with people leaving his rallies early, saying that world leaders don't like him. And he fell for it every time. She was like, yeah, your rallies are boring and people leave early. And he's like, actually, they don't.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, I think a lot of people care about the economy. A lot of young voters care about the economy, and young voters really count. Everyone cares about it. And that is Trump's strong suit. That is what he argues most about, that and immigration, we all know. And Harris, leading into the debate, said he's going to talk about immigration a lot. He's going to talk about the economy a lot, whether or not it's relevant, whether it's not. It's a question that they directly ask him, and he did exactly that. I knew when she said that he wasn't, even with that warning, he still wasn't going to be able to control himself. Yeah. And he wasn't. And she baited him so many times. And
I feel like all he said was like, the immigrants are coming for your jobs.
We need to get them out.
They're eating your pets and getting top surgery.
They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the cats.
The dogs.
My cat, I had to put him in the closet, hide him from the...
to hide him from the animal eaters.
Oh no.
Dog meat. Get it while it's hot, guys. When it was finally his turn to, like, Trump to talk about, when they asked him a direct question about the economy, about immigration, he went, she baited him with the Trump rally thing. She baited him with the Trump rally thing and made a joke about how no one even wants to be there.
Yeah. And then he fell for it. And yeah.
And a lot of that was like one of the biggest, that was one of the biggest contributions to his loss.
Yeah.
Was that when he did have the opportunity to really stand up for himself as our future president, he didn't have his head in the game.
No, he fell for the bait.
And I think one of the biggest things about like the baits is that now they have all of these little, now I'm pretty sure that Harris, like all the Democratic National Committee, is running ads that are like featuring statements that Harris made about rally sizes. And there's so many ads on billboards about he's going to campaign, I'm pretty sure, in Arizona on Thursday. And there's like a billboard where he's like whining and it's like, when people don't show up to your rally, whoa, whoa, whoa. And like and then it was like had an animated Trump photo or something.
Oh my God.
So that's, and I think that's also a little bit of a reason why he doesn't maybe want to do another debate.
He doesn't want to do another debate
because he loves it when he can use it, when he can have little sound bites.
Yeah.
And things like that. And Harris did that to him, which has always happened in campaigns and things like that.
It's common. I think too, it's also social media age. Like people are going to make social media posts about it. Like I was reading it. There's a New York Times post on like a community post on YouTube. And I was just looking at the comments because Trump was like, he refused to do a second debate with her. And like a lot of commenters were saying that like, remember when he couldn't wait to debate Biden again, or he has become what he accused Joe of being senile. Like people really are kind of tearing into him for it. Someone said he insists that he won the debate with Kamala, but doesn't want to do it again. Right.
That leads into that same moderator issue where people are saying that he only lost because he was fighting the moderators, yada, yada. It's like, you can always find something.
Yeah.
If he won the debate, he might go and do another one, but he lost and now he doesn't want to. So people can reason it either way. It's because he won. That's why he doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, that's like the people who support him have been saying, they're like, it's just like a loser to come crawling back for more. No, rematch, because I lost. And so a lot of people are saying that. People are saying that they should do a second one, but on Fox's news channel. And like
really give him the
yeah, like because
lift him up a little bit, help him out.
But yeah, the refusal to do a second debate is interesting. I saw someone saying that Kamala should do a town hall instead of a debate, where basically you sit down with a bunch of voters and you answer their questions on policy. So it's similar to a debate, but you aren't actually talking to the other candidate.
I think that would be great because
people still don't know a lot about her,
and she did not.
I don't think she performed that well either.
She spent too much time arguing against him. Like, she was baiting him, but she definitely let him get to her as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some points where I was like, she was also falling for the bait. She was also like insulting her opponent a little bit, bringing up her upbringing and stuff like that. So I think that if she had focused on policy instead of bait, I think that she could have performed even better. Because the bait did make him look bad, but it also didn't make her look good.
Yes, and it'd be refreshing to have a new leader,
right,
who we can respect and look up to. And when they both go down to that level of na 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 and like calling each other names and teasing each other, it's shocking and disappointing.
Yeah, I was really hoping to watch this debate and just see her just be like every time he says something ridiculous, have her be like, so here's something reasonable, and have him say something, because I feel like a lot of times Trump doesn't need to be baited to say something ridiculous. And so I think that would have been better for her, but I don't think she performed all that well. Like, people were saying that like she's trying to win a Democratic vote, and she just is like, yeah, I'm a gun owner, when Democrats don't like guns. So there's just things like that where she clearly was trying to tiptoe that line between centrism and Democrat to try and get all those like swing voters.
And that's her main target, especially because she's a new candidate as well.
Yeah.
And people have been pretty divided throughout the past few years. You know, what's interesting though is that immediately after the debate, Taylor Swift endorsed
T-Swizzle.
Harris. T-Swizzle got all up in that. And it's so interesting to me. The billionaire, right? It's interesting because
she's been a Democrat forever, though.
Yes, and it's, I watched her documentary like a few years ago, and she really didn't want to. She wasn't allowed to get into politics until until eventually when they were voting in Tennessee. She was like, I have to say something, and good for her. Good for her for pushing past that. It's just crazy when billionaire celebrities
endorse a politician.
It really and you think it would change the game a little bit.
Yeah, no, I saw a stat that said it really didn't change anything. Like people, like it actually made a decent percentage of voters be like, yeah, I actually don't think I'm going to vote for her anymore because Taylor Swift likes her. I was like, damn it.
I have it here.
T-Swizzle has too many people that hate her.
But there is something that comes out of that. But I have this poll from The Hill, and it says that, 81% of voters said that the support didn't change a single thing. 6% said they're more likely to vote for Harris now. So, woo, we got that 6%. Let's go T-Swizzle towards Harris. And then 13% made them less likely to do so. So, yes, it seems like it harmed. But obviously, most of the people in that poll and most of the overwhelmingly negative voters were Trump supporters naturally. And then Trump lashed out on Sunday saying, I hate Taylor Swift. And I think it's so funny the way that it's like he did it. He has to do it on Truth Social, his new, that's where
his fake social media page.
His little fake social media page, because he got kicked out of X after what happened in January. And I hate Taylor Swift.
That was such an interesting thing that they brought up in the debate, was they actually asked him about January 6th.
And he
avoided the question.
It kind of went right over.
I think a lot of people forget that politicians are like natural, like very good at avoiding the question. Like that's part of being a politician. Like I think you could look up a lot of old debates and they would also have a lot of avoiding the question. People have always been frustrated with politicians about that. That's an age-old thing, which again reminds me, going back, I was watching that Fox News broadcast and they were saying that Trump was acting like Reagan. Like that Reagan used to also say like a bunch of random shit in his debates. People just let him and loved him for it.
Yeah.
So I thought that connection was also very interesting. I have the video clip saved, so maybe I'll pop it in like sometime in the podcast so you can see it.
Trump is Trump. It's Trump, and you know it goes back to the Reagan days. You know, let Reagan be Reagan. Reagan would do things like that, like say stupid things in debates, but he had this aura about him. Trump is similar that way.
I feel like that's honestly the biggest thing that he does is when he's up on a stage, it's listen to me speak. But I think sometimes he forgets that he should be speaking for people. Like he's representing us. I wanted to go back to the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah, let's go back to Taylor Swift. I got a little distracted.
So much more. So obviously it seems like it's just so funny that they're having an online argument about this, and it's Taylor Swift's involved. And I think the reason that this is so relevant, the reason I wanted to hit on it so much is because, like I said, like we're young. So I'm so focused on like making sure that my friends and other young people are going out and voting, especially when it's so important. And then when Taylor Swift goes and does something like this, it really makes you think, okay, so young voters are a part of this, are participating. But I didn't realize that, well, they went off on a little spat, and like Harris, after Trump said, I hate Taylor Swift, then Harris's campaign apparently shot back with like a mocking statement, and it's like, and they used references to Taylor Swift songs in it.
Social media during an election is insane. Like Kamala being a brat.
This is
like Kamala bumping that.
It's
like
so crazy. Like these remixes. Like
it's a Kamala nomenon.
Kamala nomenon. It's honestly, I was not. When these two worlds collide, it's kind of insane. But it's crazy. It's crazy seeing this. And literally it says, Mr. Not At All Fine has spent this week working through his feelings, whining about his champagne problems, and spending exactly none of his time addressing the issue. His constant conspiracy theories have many asking if the man is too emotional. Like, they really worked hard on that one. It's like some weird McDonald's advertisement or something, the way that they're,
oh my God,
whenever they get endorsements from celebrities and stuff like that. And then look at this.
Oh, you
want to know about this AI that they did? Some guy did some AI of Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift wants you.
I have seen this.
You have, and he says he accepts it.
Someone made that like months ago.
Yes, and I just think that it's just all full circle. And but in conclusion with this Taylor Swift thing is that she did, though, when she did her endorsement for Harris, she did put a link to vote.gov. And even though, I said that the like 12 or 13% of people, 13% of people said they're more likely to not vote for Harris now. She did, though, create a lot of participation. Like it said that website had 338,000 visits, and that they were spiking in registration. And they said that 52,000 people registered to vote. 144,000 checked their registration. So she sent that link out there, and although no matter whether it sways people's votes either way, she still encouraged people to go out and to register and to check that registration. And
so this thing, I think even as much as our vote feels like it doesn't matter, it still does to a certain extent. I think that it's better to exercise your freedom to vote rather than just be like, well, it doesn't mean anything and not do it and be like apathetic about it. I think that it is like we are adults, we are American citizens, and like one of the few things we actually are guaranteed in this country is a vote. Like go out and vote. It's really not that hard, actually. I did it in 2020. That was my first year I was old enough to vote, was 2020. We're young. And I sat down, it took one night, I read the little blue book and I voted. And it's really, I think that like it's important to recognize that option is always there, including not just presidential votes, but like there's a vote every year, like your Senate, your local offices, like those are the places where you actually can make a difference if that's what you want to do.
Yes. And a lot of people are opting out for third party and you know what, as long as you're voting, I think it's important. But there's still people that are undivided, and young people, truly, we are that margin that can sway either or.
Yeah.
So if you care and if you want to be a part of it, truly, there's so many news sources out of it. I'm definitely not an expert, and yet I'm sitting here in front of you all. So sorry. But
I mean, I don't think there really is anybody who's an expert unless they're like in poli-sci and like have been working in it for 20 years. Like people who are reporting on this on the news are also not experts. They're just reporting on stats that were given to them by experts. And we got the stats from them. Like it's just a secondary source at that point.
But every single vote matters, and there's so many resources. There's like YouTube videos, like whatever preference you need to educate yourself and feel comfortable about it. I'm sure that it's out there, and this year does matter a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why there was such a huge jump between like people who watched the June debate versus the debate last week, because people care, because now people are motivated. Like Harris joining this election has really started like getting the gears turning. And I think that it's good that we all feel motivated and encouraged to care about our country. Yeah.
Very good. The one thing I think that we didn't touch on is the assassination attempt. I'm
just trying to play golf
yesterday that there was another assassination attempt on Trump, and it was while he was golfing. And some sources say that it was that there were shots fired. Other sources say that they weren't shots fired. So it's a little up in the air. I haven't found anything that agrees. But like apparently, according to one source, it was like he's golfing and the Secret Service around him heard the gun cock. It was like a rifle. They heard it cock and they just arrested the guy immediately. I saw the video of the guy getting arrested.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Okay, Secret Service. Pay your Secret Service more. Okay.
Well, I think because of the assassination attempt a few months ago, like his Secret Service is like
top tier.
Way increased. Like he has probably so many more people protecting him.
So on edge.
It's crazy. Because the assassination attempt a little bit ago helped his poll numbers. People were going to vote for him because he seemed like a tough guy. And so I almost wonder if like the guy did it again to try and help his numbers. But he's facing like 20 years in prison or something crazy for the attempt.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy that's like been inconsistent. But we still have time until the results.
I know.
We have like 2 months. So if this is 2 assassination attempts in a month, this is concerning.
I don't think it was this month. It wasn't 2 in 1 month.
It wasn't like a month ago?
The last one was like a few months ago.
Huh.
I think it was right after the debate in June.
I guess time flies.
So that's literally wild. Both the times right.
Oh my God. Okay, well, 2 attempts in 2 months is still crazy.
Yeah,
it's still crazy. And Trump is going after like the bro vote, because Harris is she's really relying on young women in particular, and then Trump is going for that bro vote and like those young men with college degrees and things like that. So it makes sense that being a tough guy sways it, but at what cost? At what cost?
At what cost? Yeah, no, I saw in like the polls that were that I was looking at on the ABC News, it was like pretty much most women voters under 40 are like, yeah, I'm voting for Kamala. Like a lot of young women are very much like on her side, which I feel like makes sense just from what I've seen on the internet. Like young women tend to sway more Democratic. And
she's also so pro Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things, is she's pro women's rights and like and like bodily autonomy. So I think a lot of women are voting for just because of that.
Yes.
And like that's what this poll actually was talking about. It's like a lot of people put in their survey that it's because of the abortion rights.
We talked about her dancing on that line a lot. And
but that was one of the only things she like didn't dance on that line. She said, I believe in women's rights.
Because she's really pointing. She's like, I need these people. And
I was talking with my boyfriend about this the other day. He said that like 70 to 80, I think it was like 70% of this country is pro-choice. Like statistically, our country is pro-choice. Like it's a very loud minority that's pro-life. And even like I was saying that I had this friend from when I was a kid, and she was pro-life but also pro-choice. Like she was like, I don't think the government has a say, but as much as I'm against abortion, I'm still pro-choice. So a lot of people are like don't Don't let the government tell you what to do.
It's up to you at the end of the day, but the government should not get to decide. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that assassination attempt one more time. And honestly, if someone tried to take my life,
I'd retire.
I would want. That's so true. And then, and secondly,
if I'm at my work and then somebody puts a gun in my face, I'd retire.
Sure. Yeah. No. Whatever you need. Honestly, yeah. Sure. No. Maybe this is a sign.
Yeah, this is a sign.
That I should be.
I'm getting a different
Maybe
job.
I should be drinking Mai Tais with Joe. Actually, maybe what's Joe up to these days?
His boyfriend Joe. Have you seen those memes?
Aww.
Those memes are so funny.
They're in love. But the other thing that I do, besides drink a Mai Tai, if I had an assassination attempt, is I
try again.
The second thing that I would do is sit there and get so hype with my boys.
Oh my god.
Yo, like I lived. Let's go. Yo, they tried. Look, the way, because he's gonna, he get assassinated, but he's still, but he lived, and the whole country's like, yeah. Isn't that so sick? If someone tried to kill me and all my friends were like, yo, you live.
I'm so glad you're alive.
I'd be like, yo, I'm so loved right now. Oh my god, like the bros do care. Like at the end of the day, those are my homies. I'd love it. It's nice to be hyped for living sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you have here?
Oh, this is going to be our closing, my closing
statement. Okay, well, thank you guys.
I have a closing statement before I have my closing song. I just wanted to make a note of the polls. Basically, it's important to note that this poll measures preferences nationally in effort to better understand how all Americans are coming to their choices in the presidential election. It doesn't assess the contest at the state level, which determines the winner of the Electoral College. The absence of movement in vote preferences, despite a 22-point tilt to Harris, as having won the debate, marks the sharply polarized nature of the electorate. Almost everyone has a preference between Harris or Trump, and among those who do, few say they'd even consider the other. This is especially true among likely voters, with just 3% potentially persuadable to switch. Another result also shows the entrenched divisions in attitudes. 73% of Trump supporters say they've backed him all year. Of the rest, 17% were undecided at some point, but settled on Trump. Just 9% moved to Trump from another candidate, mostly other Republicans or the former independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Barely 2% of Trump supporters came to him after previously preferring Harris or Biden. It's similar on Harris' side of the ledger. So it goes into, it's basically just saying like all the sway in the votes, just basically keeping in mind that despite these polls, they do not determine the result of the election because it's not the Electoral College and the the state vote is different. Mm-hmm. So like despite Harris supposedly winning the debate, but based on most sources, allegedly I guess, her winning the debate, according to most sources, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the result of the poll. So keeping that in mind, go to vote.gov and vote.
And register.
Check
your registration.
Make sure your address is correct. I made sure my siblings did that because my parents got everybody's ballots last year.
Make sure that you register the correct county so that you don't have to drive 3 hours to drop off your ballot.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you guys for listening. I hope that
hopefully you got a good rundown of the debate, basically. Well, the rundown of the response to the debate. We didn't touch on most of the points they talked about.
There's still more to come. Maybe there will be another debate. Maybe Trump eventually will be poked enough too, and there'll be more to talk about.
Maybe at the assassination attempt, he's going to be like, I'm going to fight Kamala.
It's getting interesting, guys. It's getting interesting.
All right.
And with that.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live.
I'm trying to find the one.
That wasn't the one.
Eating the cats. They're eating.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
They're eating the animals. Okay. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Cats. Dogs. Cats.
You're in danger.
You're in danger.
Dogs. Cats. Dogs.